Hi, good afternoon. Today, our team will present our analysis on international cooperation in Europe. Europe is one of the regions where cooperation between countries has developed the most, with a strong network of international organizations, regional alliances, and collaborative initiatives that address political, economic, and social challenges. In this presentation, we will explore the main international agencies operating in Europe, examine important cooperation initiatives, and discuss the challenges and opportunities that shape collaboration within the region. My name is Jael Sandoval, and together with my teammates Edson, Inigo, Maria, and Valeria, we will guide you through this topic. These are the topics we're gonna talk about. First, the introduction. Europe is one of the regions where international cooperation has developed the most over time. After the devastation of the Second World War, many European countries realized that working together was essential to maintain peace, rebuild their economies, and prevent future conflicts. As a result, Europe gradually built a network of institutions, alliances, and organizations designed to promote political dialogue, economic integration, security cooperation, and social development. Today, Europe hosts some of the most influential international organizations in the world, many of which play a crucial role not only within the region but also globally. Europe is considered one of the most advanced examples of regional cooperation in the world. Many European countries have developed strong political and economic ties through institutions that allow them to coordinate policies and make collective decisions. One of the most notable characteristics of European cooperation is the level of economic integration between countries, particularly within the European Union. This integration allows the free movement of goods, services, capital, and people across many member states. In addition to economic collaboration, European countries also cooperate on issues such as security, climate policy, technological development, and the protection of human rights. Because of this strong institutional framework, Europe often plays an important role in shaping international standards and policies. Europe is home to a wide variety of international agencies that operate at different levels. Some are intergovernmental organizations, meaning they are created by governments to coordinate policies and decisions among member states. One of the most influential organizations in the European Union, which promotes economic integration, political cooperation, and common regulations across many European countries. Another important organization is NATO, which focuses on collective defense and security cooperation between member states. Additionally, the Council of Europe plays a key role in the promoting democracy, human rights, and the rule of law across the region. There are also organizations such as the OSCE that focus on conflict prevention, election monitoring, and security dialogue between countries. These organizations have created numerous cooperation initiatives across Europe, ranging from economic development programs to security alliances and environmental agreements. Through these initiatives, Europe countries are able to coordinate strategies, share resources, and address regional and global challenges more effectively. In the following section of our presentation, we will explore in greater detail the specific agencies operating in Europe, the major cooperation projects they lead, and the main challenges and opportunities that shape international collaboration in this region today.
So now I'm going to explain an overview of international agencies which have their headquarters in Europe, are from Europe, or participate. First, we have the economic and financial cooperation. Then we have security and defense. And then we have human rights and democratic governance. And finally, agencies for the environment. Before we start with the agencies, I have a chart to understand how important cooperation is both for the European Union and for the countries that are within. In this chart, we can see that the majority of the population in many of the countries, or in all of the countries that include the European Union, plus countries that are not within the European Union, are in favor of the inclusion of the European Union. This is because it provides a lot of benefits. Cooperation really provides a lot of benefits and has provided results all throughout history. So first we have the economic and financial cooperation agencies. First of all, we have the European Central Bank. This was established in 1998 with the aim of monetary management and policy making for the Eurozone. The Eurozone is this area in Europe which uses the euro. Not all of the countries in the European Union use the euro, and also the country, the United Kingdom that withdrew from the European Union didn't use the euro. It is not an imposition but rather a privilege to have. It has faced the challenge of balancing diverse economies in more than 20 states. We have the example of Greece. The European Union had to save Greece several times, and it had a really big impact because Greece was in the Eurozone. It used the euro. So the this balance from one country greatly affects the others in a kind of domino effect. But regardless, the European Central Bank has been able to maintain this price stability and successfully manage the Eurozone as a global currency. The euro is a really strong currency right now. Then we have the European Investment Bank. It was created to fund both public and private projects that are aligned with the EU goals. So the private sector can come to the European Investment Bank and say a proposal, and as well as European governments can submit proposals for mega projects. It faces the challenge of achieving an actual economic growth, as many of projects seem viable but are not really viable. But it has been able to finance infrastructure and environmental mega projects. And then we have the OECD. Though this is an international organization, it holds their headquarters in Europe. It is an international forum founded in 1961 for the promotion of development and economic well-being. It has a lot of countries around the world, and it has faced challenges such as the management of economic policy consensus in many countries, but it has really set standards for taxation and global governance. Then we have security and defense agencies. First of all, we have NATO. NATO was founded in 1949 after the Second World War. It is based on the Atlantic Charter and works as a collective defense organization against threats. In this case, it was founded against the communist threat. It has historically worked as a keeper of peace and security and has seen actual combat in wars like wars in the Gulf and wars in the Balkans. Right now, it faces opposition and internal fractures, as there's a lot of political divisions. Then we have the Europol. The Europol was officially established in 1999 for the coordination between intelligence and police and national polices within the countries. It has been pretty successful in dismantling organized crime and drug networks, like recently in Spain with the Cartel Jalisco Nueva Generación, but faces the challenge of national jurisdictions, meaning how much jurisdiction is a country willing to give up in order to ensure security. And of course, data privacy laws, which is a really strong point in European debate. Then we have Frontex. Frontex was established in 2004 for border control and security. It has to deal with the ethical and logistical aspects of migration in an extremely saturated region. The Schengen space eliminates borders, but at the same time, they need to control it, they need to contain it. Therefore, Frontex was established. But nonetheless, it has heavily helped border security for the European Union. And finally, we have Satken. It was founded in 1992, but became fully integrated into the European Union in 2002. It provides critical imaginary analysis for crisis prevention, humanitarian missions, and monitoring threats to security. This means there's a series of cameras and satellites. The problems are that technology improves fast, but not fast enough for geospatial intelligence. So then we have the human rights and democratic government agencies. First of all, we have the Council of Europe, which was one of the first achievements of cooperation or integration in Europe. It was founded in 1949 as an international European organism. It has aimed to protect democracy and the rule of law through cooperation among the European countries. Its pillars are the rule of law, democracy, and the protection of human rights. It has faced several challenges, such as maintaining democratic standards in a vast region, political fragmentation, polarization, and internal issues and pressures. Their most notable successes are the European Convention of Human Rights and the European Court of Human Rights, where countries, individuals, organizations can submit cases of human rights violations. Then we have the OSCE, which is the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe. It acts as the biggest organization for regional security as it transcends far from Europe. 57 states are members, including, of course, European, Asian, and even North American countries. It was founded in 1975 within the Helsinki Accords. It has achieved many objectives, such as the mediation in regional conflicts, election monitoring, and the protection of media freedom and free speech. Nonetheless, consensus based rules make quick action taking extremely hard. And finally, we have the FRA, the Fundamental Rights Agency, which was founded in 2007 and holds its headquarters in Vienna, Austria. It aims to research fundamental right issues. It consists of areas that focus on specific right violations, such as racism and xenophobia. Their main challenge is being able to successfully translate quantitative data into an actual policy. Nonetheless, it has tremendously helped with data access as evidence to combat discrimination. And we have the environment agencies, which shows the EEA, which is the European Environment Agency, and it was founded in 1990 as an agency of the European Union to provide information for climate policy, biodiversity, and environmental goals. It is kind of like the last one. It researches and gathers quantitative and qualitative data in order to make policies and implement those policies. It has jurisdiction over the member states of the European Union, certain non EU members such as Turkey and Norway, and cooperating countries in Europe like Albania, Kosovo, North Macedonia, and Montenegro, which are rich in nature. It faces implementation challenges as it is often really difficult to develop policies with just the information of quantitative data. Nonetheless, it has achieved the establishment of clear scientific evidence to support European environmental policies.
International cooperation in Europe is important because many problems affect several countries at the same time. Issues like migration, climate change, economic crisis, and security cannot be solved by just one country, and because of this, many European nations will work together through organizations like the European Union. However, cooperation is not always easy, so one important challenge is migration. During the European migrant crisis in 2015 and 2016, more than 1 million migrants arrived in Europe, and many escaping like the war in Syria. Well, countries reacted differently. For example, Germany accepted many refugees, while Hungary built border fences to stop them. And even today, we can see it with Italy and Greece that they receive many migrants arriving through the Mediterranean. Another challenge is economic inequality because during the European debt crisis, countries like Greece had serious financial problems and they needed financial help from the European Union. And the European Union organized rescue programs, so this required spending cuts and economic reforms, which caused protests in countries such as Spain. And economic differences are still visible today since salaries in countries like Romania are lower than the ones in Denmark. Also, security conflicts affect in Europe. A recent example is the Russian invasion of Ukraine in 2022. And after the invasion, many European countries worked together to impose sanctions on Russia and provide support to Ukraine. But this situation also created challenges because many countries depended on Russian energy, especially on the north. And well, despite these challenges, Europe also has important opportunities. One example is climate cooperation through the European Green Deal. The European Union plans to become climate neutral by 2050, and countries like Denmark are leaders in wind energy, while Spain produces also wind power and solar power. Another opportunity is scientific cooperation. At CERN, scientists from many European countries work together on advanced physics research and sharing knowledge. And well, finally, the economic cooperation through the European single market that allows businesses to trade easily between European countries, which helps strengthen the economy. And well, in conclusion, although Europe faces several challenges, Cooperation between countries continue to create opportunities for economic growth, scientific innovation, and environmental protection.
To conclude, Europe represents one of the most advanced examples of international cooperation. Throughout history, European countries have created strong institutions that allow them to work together in different areas such as economy, security, environmental protection, and human rights. These organizations help countries coordinate policies, share resources, and address problems that affect multiple nations at the same time. Because of this, Europe has become a key actor in global governance and diplomacy. International cooperation has helped maintain stability in the region and strengthen relationships between countries. However, cooperation in Europe is not always simple and also faces several challenges. One of the main issues is migration, since European countries often have different perspectives on how to manage refugee flows and border control. Another important challenge is economic inequality between countries. While some nations have strong and stable economies, others still experience slower growth or financial difficulties. Security conflicts and geopolitical tensions can also affect cooperation, which makes coordination between countries even more necessary. Despite these challenges, international cooperation also creates important opportunities for Europe. Countries collaborate on environmental initiatives, scientific research, and economic integration, which helps promote innovation and sustainable development. Through cooperation, European nations can share knowledge, technology, and resources, making it easier to address global challenges together. In conclusion, even though cooperation between many countries can be complex, it remains essential. The European experience shows that collaboration and shared institutions can help maintain stability, development, and progress in the region.